It's funny because I've actually used it for such a long time, and for me, it's definitely a staple in my kit. It's a staple product that I always go back to with clients and with celebrities because it really has got that real skin feel, and you don't have that feeling of, oh gosh, I've got too much makeup on my skin. That's the first thing that I always go for in a product. So I'm super excited that everyone's like jumping on board now because of this.
And I have to say, what they're saying on TikTok is, it looks like skin, it feels like my skin, because that is actually what the artist was using on Euphoria. The idea was to replicate skin and to not make it look obvious that there was makeup. Some of the actresses aren't using makeup, and some are, and those that are really trying to also make it look natural. So we've always actually in-store events, as well as outreaching with the celebrities, and always made sure that they feel good first, right? So just to show you, it's a very jellified, and actually one of the TikTokers called it the mayonnaise foundation, which is fine. You can call it that, because actually it does look a little jellified and mayonnaisey. And that is, I would do this sort of spill test. It won't fall out. It's amazing because it's very much a whipped formula that holds water into the formula that is absorbed into your skin. 60% moisture. Did you know that?
I didn't, but thank you for telling me, because now I will tell other people that. See, I feel like we're learning every single minute, which is wonderful. But just to have that that ability, also for me as an artist, to have that in my kit and it not drip down is kind of amazing. But it does, it mimics skin, and that's what everybody wants now, is that skin look where you can just see your skin and people look at you and say, wow, your skin looks incredible.
Exactly. And I think the Future Skin also, just to pull back, was what we started with in '99, and it's always had formula first ingredients are oriented towards supporting the skin and reducing redness. So when Mom started the line, it was all about cocooning any sensitivity in the skin. So the foundation itself has aloe vera, green tea, chamomile, and this sort of sebum regulating activity through the seaweed, the algae, so that you will see a treatment-like effect happening to your skin. If you have too much sebaceous activity or just too much oil, you'll reduce how much you're producing. If you're actually too dry, it'll pull moisture and the oil balance back up that you need. So it's a really smart formula. And I think people don't always realize we started Chantecaille with color and then skincare. And as Mom says, it's because the formulas of foundation and color were so skin conditioning. People are like, this looks great, my skin looks great and feels good. What's next? Does she have skincare? And so it evolved naturally and had a heavily botanical slant to the skincare as well.
Yes, and for me, you said you started with color and it became skincare. For me, I feel like it's skincare with color in it, because every single client I put any of these products on, they're like, wow, this, I feel like myself. It feels like my skin. I don't feel like I need to touch up. They don't continuously look at themselves in the mirror because they know that they look great, but they don't look static, as in it's set and then it's, looking awful. It just looks flawless and hydrated, and I really don't have to do much.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's really great. Like, one thing that I have done is, if I'm doing a touch up, it's generally just the rose spray.
This guy, just to hydrate and
because that will literally just hydrate the skin, but it will just add another layer of just gorgeousness to the skin. It will, after, say for example, a lunchtime, and we're going back to set, generally all I will do is use the rose water spray, and models can't believe it, actresses can't believe it, set designers and producers are like, wait, hang on, you've got an hour to do a touch up, and you literally did it in 5 minutes with rose water, and you just buff it into the skin, and it just creates this beautiful extra layer of just gorgeousness. I love it.
Well, let's I want to hear from you how you've been having fun in having it sort of work differently for you. So if you want it to be sort of that much lighter and dewy, are the things you're doing to sort of pull it out and kind of thin it out?
I can stretch this product, which is what I love about this product. And I've tried to do it with many other brands, and it doesn't always marry together. But for me, one of my favorite products, I mean, I love all the rose oils and the rose spray, but
the whole rose
oil
palette
is like,
and this is 100% natural, and you're a real nature girl.
It's my hero product. So I will use this before, during, and after. I will use it if I need to sort of share out the product a little more. But what I actually did on the red carpet, actually with Radhika for Vanity Fair, was I used the Elixir. So I just put a couple of drops, literally just a couple of drops into the you don't need much
Mhm.
into the actual foundation, and it just
So nice.
I don't know what your mother put in there, but it's just incredible.
Unicorn tears.
Yes, actually, maybe that is what it is. Unicorn
It
tears.
actually, it has a lot of smart elements in the elixir,
Yeah.
a lot of elements to reduce the redness and sort of bring down what you would see naturally in the in your natural eye would see. Instead of red, it would replace it with green. So it's a very smart ways to reflect and
Very
reduce.
smart product.
Yeah.
And I love that I can put it in everything. And the other thing that I love to do is use these liquid lumiere drops. There's 3 different shades, and I love these things. It will just change your makeup very, very quickly, but it will change the skin too.
Well, I think it'd be fun if you did me a little bit. You know,
Oh,
I have a little
yeah.
bit of makeup, but not too much. Maybe you
Okay.
could.
Why don't we color match you? So
Yeah.
that,
Yes, exactly.
that would be
Let's start with the basics in terms of shade matching.
Okay, so I
I think we can put up on the screen also how we have this on our website. And what we do in stores is we always talk about sort of the basic sort of balanced or warm or cool, and then of course from pale to darker in terms of the pigmentation.
I noticed actually on the website the other day, it's really easy to navigate, especially if you're a newbie.
Oh yeah.
And you
mean
don't
the foundation finder?
Absolutely. I think it's super.
You drop in the
I
current
really
foundation.
do think it's great. So if you don't know, if you're wearing another brand, you pop it in and then it will bring you, I think it's genius.
Yeah, we just launched it a few months ago. It's been very popular.
And I'm going to forward people to that, because I think it's very daunting when you've been with a brand for so long and then you're thinking about dipping yours into the water of another brand. That takes the fear factor out of it. And I think it's a really, really great idea. And also that comes with it is those, explain to me what those...
The color chart?
Yeah, so it points you into the other direction of, say, for example, your...
Yeah, the whole category.
Skin.
Exactly. So if you're within sort of the nudes, we can show you the other products within the Just Skin, the compact makeup, even the Real Skin stick concealers that are great, and foundation 6-in-1, so that you can do a whole wardrobe of foundation according to just knowing one of the products, and then we can help flush it out through the site. Kind of trying to repeat the support you'd get in store with an artist, you know, which you can't get necessarily on the computer, but we do our best to really give a whole customized experience on the web. And actually,
I really encourage customers and clients to go and check that out, because I think it's a brilliant piece of equipment.
And then on a side note, we have an amazing live chat team on our site, and they're all makeup artists originally. So, and they're also at their disposal have opportunities to do individual unique sampling to you if you needed some help to kind of match. So our team they're not bots, they're real humans, and they've been in store and they really understand the products and formulas. And if you have any kind of questions, they know they're there for that. But so then let's talk about how we could understand where you go if you're, because you and I look similar, I'd say, you know, to the naked eye, but I'm actually cool undertoned and you're warm. We were talking about this earlier, that I just had a little sun, and so I'm moving up from vanilla to nude, whereas you would go from vanilla to cream and chamomile into the more warm undertone.
I actually tried myself this morning, and I was actually alabaster, which I was quite surprised.
Right, coming out of winter.
Yes, and I probably would go into cream for the summer. Maybe
and my mother and other artists have always taught me, you do the sort of color of your veins.
I don't think many people know about this. So if you look at your veins, you're quite
blue.
You're bluey green, actually.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little tan.
Very green.
Yes, exactly.
Very green.
It really pops.
I love green. So this will indicate to you your undertones.
Yeah, and not really using the neck, because that gets a little too yellow.
Exactly. And I don't know why people put makeup on their necks, because unless you're like that lady from that movie who wears the silver thing underneath her neck to get all the sun. Yeah, you never get sun here. The sun just doesn't come here. I always try to match a woman from their chest, and then I'll put on places on the skin, on the actual face, so that I'm able to see if I'm balancing from here upwards.
Should we try between like 2 on me and see? Because you're a big believer everyone needs 2, right?
Think, yes,
I agree with you.
And that's not a sales pitch, because I'm not a salesperson. I'm not an employee of sales team or anything. it's just really smart for women to have, women, men, whoever's using foundation, to have 2 shades. So always make sure you check yourself in the summer and in the winter. Those 2 shades will keep you throughout the whole year. And if you do buy a product that's too dark, don't worry. You can actually use it as a bronzer. You can use it to shape or shade your face.
It's a great idea.
So you're not wasting product. And then you can just keep adding light to it.
Right.
To make it
to
your
lighten
perfect
it up.
shade.
Right.
So don't ever get scared if the shade is too dark. You can
but it has to be, but to be clear, it has to be in the right undertones.
Yes.
You can go pale or dark within your own undertone. But if you're in the wrong family, it's never going to work.
Yeah. Like don't be too dark. Like I wouldn't do some, well, maybe you could do suntan. I'm just looking at the darker shades.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I think we should try between, like, we could try vanilla and nude, and then we could show something that's really off,
right,
and you could actually show the sort of wrongness of a cream or something in the
yes,
yellow undertone to see how that doesn't work.
Well,
for me.
I think right now you're looking like a nude to me. So this would be, I just want to test it a little bit here, just because of the color of your tone here. You do not want to see your makeup. It's the only time I say to you don't want to see your makeup is when you're doing foundation.
And you like to use fingers. You're really tactile.
I'm a finger person. Kevin was a finger person. So, but yeah, that, it's melted into your skin. So it's disappeared. So that is definitely your shade. Shoulder
getting a lot of
right now. So then from doing this, then I go to the face, because obviously it's going on the face. So I'm just going to do a little bit on this side. Just here.
And it is so refreshing, I have to say. It feels hydrating. It's, it's comfortable right away.
It literally melts into your skin. It's really beautiful.
I always say when I'm in a store event with a customer, I don't give them a camera. I don't give them a mirror right away. I actually say, close your eyes. How do you feel? And that matters more almost than how do you look. Of course you want to look great, but making sure they're comfortable and they don't really want to jump out of your chair and scrape it off and say, yeah, thanks a lot, but actually not like it. That's important. And I think
funny, because that's one thing I do say to talent whenever they're in their chair. I say to you, how do you feel?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I feel great. And I say, no, but how do you feel in your skin? How does your skin feel? And they're like, oh wow, actually I've never thought about that. I feel really good. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing any makeup. That is how I want every single woman to feel when they're in the chair, when they're on the red carpet. I want them to feel beautiful, but not feel like, oh my God, is my makeup too much? Or what
wearing
I mean?
me,
Exactly. Okay, so you're definitely nude, but I just want to, if we've got time, just to quickly show, for example, if you were thinking, I've got a suntan, so I'm going to go for suntan.
Sure. Yeah. I also want to try to show cream, which I think I'm not, to explain how it's the opposite side of the same level as so
I'm going to do it on the shoulder, just up here, just so we don't ruin the rest of the face. But this, so I'm definitely, because I've got a suntan, I'm going for suntan. This is what you wouldn't do. And then we've got nude, which is her current shade. And then we have, which one was this? Cream? Yeah, cream.
Which would be in the same level of nude, but a yellow undertone. Yeah. And honestly, what's important to understand is that if you're a little bit cool, like me, like a blue to pink, wear a pink, because what's going to happen is that pink is going to disappear. And what you're going to show is that little bit of yellow that is naturally in your skin. We're not Legos. So we're not 100% of one color. We're a mix. We're just predominantly more one than the other. But if you wear something that is sort of the opposite and yellow on a pink undertone person, it's going to sit there and actually make you look off and not blend into you. Exactly. And that's where you can see that that's just sitting there and really not melting into the skin.
You can see on the skin, if you just turn your shoulder, can you see, like, it's literally melted? So this is a good one, and this is the yellow one. This is obviously going darker. Yeah.
But I think understanding that it has to be, to your point, you were saying earlier, the color you want to see is your cheeks, your lips, your eyes, your mascara. You want your face to melt away and to not have that actually be what's obvious.
Exactly. You don't want people to say, oh my God, what foundation are you wearing? Yeah. You want people to say, wow, you look amazing. Your skin looks amazing.
Exactly.
That's
what
I want to
hear. Very much so.
All the time. So I'm just there for now.
And then also in terms of wearability, what I think is interesting about this product is that you can use your fingers, you can
Yeah.
use this brush. It's a gel. So I wouldn't recommend a sponge because actually you'd lose so much of the product, you'd waste it. It would all go absorb into the sponge. So you could buff it out maybe at the end with like a beauty blender or something, but I wouldn't take most of the product and soak it into the sponge because then you've lost it. And the application is sort of too spongy.
I like beauty blenders, but I only like them
the
to
end,
blend
right?
at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it because as you just said, they waste so much product, the bacteria that's collected in it.
Right.
And I know
That's so
you
great.
ladies do not wash your brushes. So I can't even imagine what your sponges will look like. And that's just harboring bacteria and causing, skin problems.
And then also you can cross hatch this. So a little bit goes a long way. You don't sort of plop it on the skin and then absorb it in, like rub it in. I like to do a little bit at a time and then have it be so that you get a little bit of coverage. And then to your point, you're using your fingers to get it in, but you're not slopping a lot. And then, because that's where it's too much, you need to build more slowly and get the areas
that you just use there is really, really good. Like I feel like I pat with this product with my hands, but I also pat with the brush too. It definitely a little goes a long way. As I said before, you can really stretch this foundation. It's beautiful.
And then the idea is then you let it sort of take a beat and then you do another layer, but don't slop on a lot because that actually won't absorb the way you want it to be as a finish. That'll be too much of the product. This is probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months of application, and if you're doing 2 jars, you could stretch it out to 9 to 12 months. I mean, it lives for I think 24 months once you've opened it, but the idea is you really aren't taking scoops of this onto your face. Our product really does go a long way, and again is meant to be very comfortable. So if it's too much on your skin, that means it's too much product actually. And I like to use a little bit as a concealer. I know the Real Skin Stick is a beautiful concealer foundation, but I like the luminosity that this provides underneath. That one's really great, but it's a bit more matte as an actual stick.
I would definitely run a slightly, sorry, I'm just going to touch up there.
your gig.
I would definitely use a slightly lighter shade underneath the eyes, just a tiny shade lighter.
Right. And this is the Real Skin that I have to say, when you do this Real Skin Stick, which is specifically, it's a foundation concealer, by the way. It's small like a concealer stick, but its coverage is more long lasting and more physically thicker actually as a foundation than even the Future Skin. So if you do have areas that are sort of major hyperpigmentation or an acneic area or just an uneven skin tone and you want to do like a swath with this, you could really do that across your face and then use a Future Skin over, almost like this as a base cushion. Anyway, so this with the
for a second.
I'm like
just blending her in there. I swear by these.
Name Edna. I was like, but this with the Radiance Elixir makes for a nice way to kind of cream it up. It's so comfortable, and then you get that luminosity as well, but with a little bit more hold to the actual foundation.
It's
and you can really sort of spread it out and get what you want as coverage. And again, we kind of sometimes this also has this sort of help with under eyes being reduced. The Radiance Elixir, it's sort of a magic little elixir. We joke it can do your taxes and get you a babysitter too.
I know we joked that there was unicorn drops in here, but what actually what are some of the ingredients?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a specific crystal that is very much about reducing redness. It has a tomato stem cell that also is a kind of carotenoid that reduces the redness and helps support collagen growth. There's a Japanese lotus that also helps with microcirculation. So you get a lot more healthy banh mi, as we say in French, sort of really trying to create that luminous look through the circulation of the skin being improved. And then you have a reduction of basically how one looks really refreshed when we're 17, getting out of bed. But when we're in our 20s, 30s, I just turned 45 yesterday. We don't look that refreshed until or maybe your second cup of coffee at 9:30, 10. This makes you look better as you wear it every day. So it's a lovely product to wear at night because when you wake up and you use it sort of as a daily treatment, it will improve you to just look that much more awake. And effectively what it's doing is reducing bags and circulating and depuffing. So it is something nice to tap under the eyes as well. It's a miracle. It's a miracle product. So it's definitely
I really
that
love
hybrid.
using it as a mixer inside. But I mean, I'd like to use it on its own too.
Yeah.
to try to do
Sorry,
night
it's very
things.
exciting around here. They're
I'd like
hopping
to
up.
do this nighttime thing that you were talking about.
And then the rose oil is something that's very comfortable in terms of also bringing a little bit more luminosity to the future skin. So the idea of the rose oil is that you can very much get a light blend of it. And this is for anyone looking for skin nourishing, improvement of texture, really comforting acneic skin. A lot of people are scared of oil for acne skin, but actually this is non-comedogenic and 100% natural.
All the time.
Right? It reduces the lesions and the aggression that the acne can bring out. And it's sometimes, you know, it's quite, so if you're oily, maybe it's like your nighttime, but it's really comfortable. And it has 4 types of rose, one being our very rare hand harvested Rose de May that starting its cultivation in a month from now in May in the south of France. You can see the rose oil with this gives a really pretty luminosity. Again, you can build it more, but you get such comfortable texture.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, this is what the TikTokers are saying, which is why I'm so proud that they got it without even really necessarily getting any education or talking with us. They just picked up and they're like, it is like skin and it feels so comfortable and it looks so natural. Is this helping you?
This is like, I mean, I've tried so many different rose oils. I mean, it's like one of the top.
It really is lovely. Yeah,
right now.
it really is the top.
For me, this
Smells
is
divine.
my hero. This is my hero product right here. And I use it for, and some people have said to me, oh no, I've got oily skin, I don't want any oil. I'm said, trust me, this is like none of any skincare you've ever had on your face before. And then literally after I've done it, they're like, oh my God, where do I get it from? It's amazing.
And will you put some of these lovely little guys on me? So the sheen is a slightly pinkier color.
Is that the color that you like?
And then brilliance you could put on the high cheekbones maybe, right? Because that's more that really warm bronzy gold that I'm liking right now too.
This I would always.
There's luster, I guess, would be the. So pretty. And I love that they're cream with this gel foundation. So it's really nice to not wear powder sometimes over a gel, right?
Yeah.
Just keep everything creamy. And
it's much more youthful.
Yeah.
Like I think back in the day when I started makeup, glow. People were like, oh no, don't use cream. That's what grannies use. But actually they were onto something because the cream makes them look younger.
And every woman wants her glow. I remember, you know, our mom worked with Estee Lauder when she worked at Prescriptives, and she was sort of mentored a lot by her, and they would travel, and Estee would go into counter and be like, where's my glow? Where's my product for my glow? And I love that as a real woman who loves products and makes them for herself and other women. One is always looking to be really glowful, and that's even a word, and full of vitality. And these provide that.
See, I think I might use more of that shape.
And it also has touches of raspberry stem cell and elements that support collagen as well. So we're always weaving in skincare into our color as well.
Well, the thing that's so nice about this, they're so liquidy. There's, you know, there's no chalkiness. There's no, it just literally, I mean, it's called liquid lumiere, but it's just such a beautiful sheen to it.
And I always like that piano tap, you know, like we have a cheek version too, like really. Yeah.
And just putting it in any kind of product is gonna make it even more beautiful.
And then tell me some of the things that you like to make sure women know, because you know, I know my product, I know kind of how we have always talked to clients, but what are some of the things you like to make sure women maybe know to ask and don't always feel comfortable to do so, and at the counter or in your own chair as an artist? And
I feel like lighting is such an important part of what I do, and obviously it will help women when they're purchasing. And you know, we're not all Kim Kardashian who walks around with a lighting team around with.
Is that what she does? Is that why she looks so good?
They look amazing. They have lighting.
Wow, now I know.
You know, it's nobody looks the same as they do unless they're in this incredible lighting, right?
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's not at the department store, let's just be honest.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not.
Is so fabulous. So I always try and encourage women to get either outside or by a window to really have a look and ask the girls. I've done it myself. I've gone in and I said, can I take this product to the window? Can you bring me a mirror? Yeah. You can come with me if you like, you know. So really get into really, really great light. And that I think women are scared to ask these questions, because I know I've always had terrible experiences at beauty counters.
Oh no.
I won't name brands, but you know, I had one girl say to me, well, look, it's very simple. Do you want to be pretty or do you want to be ugly? And I was like, wow, that now I will not be buying this product because if that's your sales tactic or your, she was probably annoyed that I was spending so much time. But you know, I was buying a product for somebody else. So it wasn't even about that. It was about
getting it right for the need of the person.
Exactly. You know, and I think sometimes people don't really care. And I really care. So.
But I'd have to say to that, I would almost maybe your now older self would have been, well, I want to be confident.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what we were saying. It's about confidence, and that's where the beauty comes through.
I think ugly is such a terrible word to use to describe someone's appearance.
Yeah.
Maybe to describe someone's personality, but not someone's appearance.
Agreed. No, it's about being good in your skin and letting it shine through.
I feel like, I don't know, for me, Chantecaille is that confidence. It is that added. It's like a big. It's like you guys are all family. It feels like a family. It feels like you guys have got our backs. You know. So when you do go to the beauty counter, I would always encourage people to go to see Chantecaille because it has that family element. It has they want you to feel beautiful in your skin. You know. So,
we have an amazing team in the stores.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is just. I feel so welcomed. It's really beautiful.
That's so sweet. Thank you. And then, I'm getting a question. So I think regarding the Radiance Elixir and the Real Skin Stick that I just did on the back of my hand, I would layer it under my eyes as is with a brush, to be honest, because I love this luminosity. Gosh, was it this one? I think this was oil, so this was Radiance Elixir.
Yeah.
So then once I would put the Radiance Elixir on the hand, the palette, you know, wherever you're using, I would then use that to go underneath to get the extra hydration, but also the sort of thinning out. Because I don't personally love a very thick concealer. I just like the lighter one. So someone might want to just go ahead and either take this straight. You know, you could do that. You could definitely go straight. You could, and I'll just do this for effect on camera. You know, you could do this and get it right onto the eye, and pull it out with a brush or your fingers. So there's whatever you personally are looking for as coverage and finish. And that's a big part. It's not just undertone and it's not just matching your shade. It's what works for you. What's your lifestyle? Are you going to wear makeup in the morning and never come back to the mirror throughout the day, and you have a busy day and you need to look good going into the evening? Or are you working from home? Can you pop up in and off of Zoom and then maybe hop into the bathroom and tweak yourself as you know you want? So is it something that has to like last all day, or do you want something in your bag? You know, we have our cushion.
I've seen mums in the car, doing their makeup on in the rearview mirrors. Yes. So this product is super. I mean, for me as an artist, I will always put it on the back of my hand first
to sort of warm it up.
Just to warm it up, and I like to do less is more, and then build upon, because I feel like I can't take it off.
Yeah. Well, then you ruin the whole thing.
Exactly.
You have to start again, and it's
easy
a nightmare
to build on versus to take it off. But you know, I've seen mums literally doing this in the mirrors.
And then you just tap it. Constantly moving, like not especially under the eye. That's such a delicate area. You don't want to be tugging, right? And I think sometimes younger girls are a little bit harder on their faces and sort of just get through it. But that is not something you want to train your skin to accept, because it's gonna pay back, you know, harshly.
But I also think if you prep your skin, I mean, for me, skin preparation is the most important part of any of this step. If our skins are prepped beautifully, these products are going to go on even better. And then if you feel like it's not going on as you'd hoped,
right,
planned,
like the texture is too uneven in your skin, you mean? Yeah.
Then you can let's keep adding little things to it to create even more possibilities. And I think that's just one of the best ways to do it. But skin prep is so important. It's like building a house without prepping your foundation, you know. So
for sure. And that's like a whole other time we could talk about skin masks and all that.
We'll be back for
But
that.
I do think on a practical level, playing with these drops in little doses as you mix the formula into your hand, or on a little space that you're mixing it into. We use these geodes at counter, so things like that, sort of a mixer. But versus putting a whole face of this on your skin and then doing foundation, that'll be too much and almost too wet and sloppy and hard to have the foundation hold. So at night, fall asleep with the rose oil, a full face for sure. But in the morning, if you're playing with your foundation, just do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thoughts, but I just think I wouldn't want to sell people on doing a whole face of that and a whole face of foundation.
I use this pretty much every single makeup, whether someone's oily or not. And I've used that, what is that? That lovely tool that you
our biolifting tool.
Yeah,
that roller tool to like absorb it into the skin and circulate the face.
Like a whole, they feel like they've had a facial
Oh,
with me.
it's so nice.
And then the makeup takes less time because the prep was so
and
genius.
it's absorbed.
And then when it comes to sort of doing your touch-ups after lunch, that's why I'm only doing a rose water spray, because I started and prepped everything how I would. But obviously with us regular women who are just doing, getting ready for a Zoom or going to work or whatever, then I wouldn't recommend you put a whole.
I think just a little time.
Yeah.
Let's play with I think someone wants to see what it looks like to kind of create a tanned look, and to kind of warm up the skin with, because you were saying how we can have 2, maybe even 3 foundation shades. I definitely have 3 in my arsenal at home at any given time based off pale to dark. So do we want to try to see what that would look like and pull up hazel into my face?
Sure. Is it hazel was what we
That's what I would
said would be your dark
I would
shade, right?
I would land at hazel or sand if it's here.
Yeah.
Like,
so I would
shea, sometimes a little yellow, but that's in the options.
Yeah, I feel like you're more going to be more here.
Yeah. And then while we're doing this, someone's asking about, could we use skin stress repair concentrate or eye treatment or eye cream with it on top? I would say I would personally start with stress repair tapped into the eye, because it really helps with depuffing and being almost like it's almost like ironing a wrinkled shirt. It has this ingredient pulalan and sort of a cushiony finish to it, so it smooths out any uneven texture. You can even flit it across the tops of your lids to help with lifting and smoothing the lid of the skin. But I wouldn't put it over real skin. So if you're looking for a luminous hydrated finish, which is possibly what you're asking about when you mentioned, and I put the eye cream over the concealer, I would start with the stress repair first to get the effect of what it should do, depuff and smoothen the skin and have that Botox effect that it has. And then I would personally take the real skin into your hand and lighten it up with what we've been showing you, a little Radiance Elixir, for example, and then tap that with the brush into the eye. So you'll have a very comfortable hydrated eye, but you will have used the eye cream to its full efficacy and impact that you want into the skin.
Okay. So I don't know if anyone's ever done
Thank you.
this.
She's saying my eyes look very pretty. Me or her, I don't know, but I think I'm wearing Starfish and Jasper eyeliner.
I was actually using, is it Sylvie?
Yeah. That lovely matte.
Yes.
We're both wearing mermaids.
I really like them.
Mine's the shiny one. Yeah, I do too. I wear it all or like a nice little tight brush, but I live with those mermaids.
I feel like people need to know more about these mermaid
Triton
products.
is a great one.
Yeah, because
silver
they're
gray.
just easy to use. You can throw them in your purse.
Yeah, they're very sheer.
Yeah.
Or you can wet them.
Yeah, I think they're great. I don't know if anyone's ever done this technique on you before, but I like to call it E3T.
Okay.
Has anyone ever heard of that?
No, I've not.
Okay. So basically, you're giving yourself that sun-kissed look.
Yes.
It's where the sun would naturally hit you.
Got it.
So your cheekbones,
Yep.
your nose,
the high planes,
all the parts where we're quite bony.
Yeah.
And the only way I've ever been able to describe this or teach it to people is by doing it in what I call E3T technique.
Okay.
So you're drawing a 3, you're drawing an E, and then a T down the middle.
Easy.
So that's what I'm going to do with this, the slightly darker shade. Yes. Good save. And you'll be able to see. So if you just look forward, they'll be able to see better. So I'm going to just hit it where the sun would naturally hit your skin, and you'll be able to see you look more bronze now, because this is where really the sun hits the face.
Right.
And actually where you're a little bit red here.
Right.
That's obviously where you got your tan from. And always make sure when you're going along here that you're getting down, because even though you want to look sun-kissed, you still want to look perfectly suntanned.
Like blended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfectly blended. And then I'll do it again on the other side.
And I think it's also important to remember bronzer, and we're kind of using this as a bronzer, shouldn't replace cheek. I had an
No.
amazing artist and partner in this company for many years, Ernesto, who always taught me, you know, bronze represents sun and cheek represents blood, which means life.
Exactly.
So you can live without sun. We cannot live without blood. So if someone puts a bronzer on instead of a blush, and specifically that area where a blush should be, or just forgoes blush and thinks bronzer is enough, you will look dead.
Yeah,
you will look weird.
Have to wear blush.
Yeah.
Blush is like, it's like forgetting your underwear. It's really important to me.
Oh,
It's
so
like
cute.
if that's the only thing I
Right.
would ever wear is blush.
Yeah, well, you've heard it here
Mascara
first.
and blush.
No commando
Yeah.
makeup here,
Yeah,
girls.
Exactly. Don't forget your undies.
Well, that's that idea of, you know,
Yeah.
pinching your
And
cheeks.
always
bringing,
pinch
yeah.
my cheeks. So I don't know if you can see. I mean, I don't want to specifically draw the E3, but you can now see that you've got a little bit more definition, a little bit more color, but you look suntanned.
We're gonna trigger a new TikTok challenge, E3T. I can't wait.
E3T, you heard it here first. So that was the quickest way for me to teach people for application.
Totally.
And I also have the same. I have the same little trick for applying blush as well, but it's different.
Okay, well, that's another class altogether. I have lots of tricks on blush too, so we have so many fun things to talk about.
I know, I'm excited. This is like really. I feel like I'm with my sister. It's awesome.
I know I never had a blonde sister. It's
I'm the only blonde in the family, so I know I have a blonde sister.
Cute. And then, you know, what I wanted to say is also, we are with this class offering a gift, and one of the elements in the gift, it's this really fun spring greeny pouch that's a reusable canvas pouch, but also it has a Radiance Elixir, a mini in it. So I think it's with a $200 purchase, which is basically 2 foundations and a lipstick, or, you know, maybe one piece of the skincare and a foundation. So you can get there, but in the pouch, you'll get some really great skincare pieces, a moisturizer, but also this little Radiance Elixir, a mini that's great for travel. So if you do go for a weekend or a work trip or a holiday, a little bit of that would go in your bag with your foundation. Yeah. We can see if we can get you sorted out here.
Yeah, thank you.
Once you make your purchase.
Exactly. I do need to buy some new things anyway. So this is great.
Well, I think that kind of covers it, right? I mean, I'm going to do another spritz of our lovely rose water, but by the way, I love putting this in the hair.
Just spraying it everywhere.
Our mom is here, little spritz.
Oh, I need that because I feel like I'm
good
really,
at
really red right now.
It's also a good sort of energy changer, and it helps with any headaches and tension headaches. During our COVID lockdown, it was my savior. I went through 3 bottles just having it next to my computer and my laptop.
Wow.
So yeah, rose water is a really important.
The thing that goes through in my kit is the thing that goes the fastest.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always just like how it feels. I never think of it like how it works for a professional makeup artist.
I can't live without it. It's like now if
it's like a source of water
taken away from me, I don't know what I would do because I literally use it for every single makeup.
I think we found some new essentials. It looks like definitely these 4, I would say, are major
and it's
essentials.
funny because that's actually, those are my 4 mains in my kit too.
There we go. This is the
And
Campbell Ritchie essential.
Yeah,
We have the rose